If you've never used an on-screen keyboard, this is the one I have to use on Adriana's laptop because I ruined the keyboard with spilling Pepsi-Cola on the keyboard. The computer works fine, it's quick. When I say fine, I don't know why I say fine, because sometimes I gotta restart it. It's hard to find anything you can depend on here. That's kind of like the theme of my life. And nothing you can do about anything if you're not a citizen or you don't have a lot of money to pay people to, bribes.
Your computer on.
Yeah. Okay. Now you'll know my code. Okay, and the tour guard not responding. Huh? Now it's responding. I have for my windows scenes from Mexico. This is their Statue of Liberty. And I have so many fond memories of Mexico. I love Mexico. If I could just pick us up and move to Mexico, I would be happy to. Although the crime is just as bad as anywhere else south of the border. Well, I don't know if I can divide crime with what's going on in the United States, especially in Washington, D.C. Okay, that's on. Now I'm going to put on my Googler, which is my secondary search engine or whatever, after Edge. And I'm not sure exactly why I did that. So I will go back to Edge. And I came here for the explicit purpose of looking at these shortcuts, because earlier in the day there was a shortcut. Let's see if I can find it up by taking this out. Remove. No, I don't want that one either. Remove. Remove. That didn't show up this time. I'm looking for the president's page. Okay, it seems the problem is I was on the wrong laptop. This is my old laptop. And this screen belongs to my old Gateway computer because the screen does not work on the laptop. So if I can do this without closing, this is the page of the President of El Salvador. And here you can read the fine print. If I can find the fine print. Too much trouble. Scroll down, and it has some news, what he's been doing lately. And on the bottom, it says, Contáctenos, and Instagram. Now, I don't have Instagram. I don't know much about all of these newfangled Instagrams and Twitters and stuff. But I will click on Contáctenos, get in touch with us. And pops up the address. Okay. And if you want to write, you got an email address and a phone number. So it sounds simple enough that if I wanted to write a letter or send an email to the president of the country, not that he sits there at his laptop like your president does, I would click on contact. Now, it took me a while to figure out that it's going to hook up to my Outlook email. And when my email pops up, sometime today, everything is slow here in El Salvador. Here it comes. Outlook 365. Da, 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 da. Barcelona plays tomorrow, 9 o'clock my time. Play against Getafe. Currently in second place. Now we go to my calendar. Okay. Now we'll wait for here. And I still don't see the email for the president. Updating the inbox. Still don't see anything. Let's go back here. Here. Clicking it a second time. Here we go. Now, if you can plainly see this, it's pre-addressed Contacto Presidencia GOB, Gobierno, Government, Salvador. And I will write something. Oh, also in the subject, Hola. So I will write something nonsensical, like Hola, with one finger. And I'll send. Ignore. I'll just send. I won't read this anymore. And we'll see what happens. Updating the inbox. And we see that the postmaster at Outlook has returned it. Rejected your message to the following mail address, Contacto. Okay. Your message couldn't be delivered. It appears that the email address you sent your message to wasn't found at the destination domain, or the recipient's mailbox is unavailable. The email address might be misspelled, or it might not exist. Try to fix the problem by doing one or more of the following. And it gives you some suggestions. Send it again, check the spelling and all that kind of garbage. And there's a long list. What this has to do with is transparency. One of the hallmarks of running for president in this country every 5 years is transparency, because people here don't know what goes on in the government really. In the United States, you can check the congressional record and see what they've been doing. If you want to know what the budget is, you can find the budget and see how much is spent on defense and how much is spent on other things. Here, the departments have pages, but they're meaningless. They only tell you what they want to tell you, which is a disappointment to me, because I kind of have a feeling about this current president. He's doing some good things. He's really getting some stuff done. And he's had, problems with the other parties. It's kind of like, Obama with 2 terms of Republican control of Congress, not being able to do anything, and even now having, the Democratic Congress is sending bills to the Senate, and they just sit on them with thanks to Mr. McConnell. Strictly partisan. Okay? I want to write a letter to this guy, or I've written a letter to this guy, explaining my situation with immigration and the fact that I've been waiting 10 years for my citizenship. It's a very nice letter. There's nothing nasty about it at all, but I have no way to get it to the president. I've gone on Twitter to see if somebody on Twitter, on one of his many pages, would be able to send me some information, but so far I haven't received any information. The party that he belongs to is New Ideas. It's called New Ideas, and they have offices all over the place because they're counting on the 2021 elections taking over the legislative body, where whoever will be the president in 2021 won't have a problem with getting things done. So I contacted somebody from the office and asked them to see if they could find out, how do you get in touch with the president? If I want to tweet to what's his name, Trump, no problem. He's all over the place. Or write a letter. Writing a letter and sending it by mail might be the way I'll have to go if I can't find a decent address. So that's my second project. Actually, it's my first project, and I can't work on it because I can't find a way to communicate with the president. The third thing is to repair the keyboard on Adriana's laptop. And when we went to find out about it at our Digital Solutions technical department, they said it could take a month or 6 weeks for them to get it. And I'm thinking, what are they ordering from eBay from China? And so I have to wait for that before I can get this working perfectly for her. She needs it for school. And in the meantime, this computer, the old one, not only does it need some fixing on its keyboard, there's no Q, and a couple of the backup doesn't work. But the most important thing is to get the belt that I think needs to be replaced so that the screen will work and I don't need this big lapachut sitting on my desk taking up space. So you can see why a person who is retired with not much to do in the world can be frustrated by simple things that if I took these 2 computers to Best Buy, they would have it done in 2 days and I would be in good shape. Maybe 3 days, but they would get it fixed. If I wanted to write a letter to Donald Trump, I could communicate with him very easily. And there would certainly be somebody with a circular saw in my neighborhood that could come and make 4 cuts of this 4x4 wood and get it done. So in the meantime, I'm sitting here nursing a bad back and wishing I could get something done so I would have something to do besides watch Law and Order SVU in the morning. One of the channels has a marathon of Law and Order SVU, which is one of my favorite programs of all time. Law and Order in general, the original and some of the babies that it spawned. In the meantime, I'm just sitting here looking at the calendar, looking at some of the tchotchkes I have on the wall in my office. Memories of good times, fronting a band, listening to the applause and feeling like I am somebody. Creating signs for Margarita's business to hang out when she's working. Looking at my beautiful guitar that I hardly ever touch, and that's just to clean the dust off it. My other guitar is in the case. I loaned it out to the fellas at church. They came back, I needed to do some repair on the case. And my amplifier, as old as it is, serves to plug into the computer when I'm watching the Celtics basketball or hopefully soon Dodger baseball on the computer to amplify it, because I can't hear a thing, especially when the fanatic church man behind our house is making his noise that he calls a service. My auto harp hangs, and when I get around to it, I clean off the case. A headset that I used to use when I would do some recording on the computers. And some more memorabilia and some of my plants. Antique cassettes that I'll probably never listen to again, now that everything is on Spotify or some other channels where I can listen to my music and listen to Buck Owens or Roy Acuff or Bob Wills, real country music, not the stuff they play today and everybody sounds alike. I got books that I've read, got all my music magazines, folios from old people with autographs of everybody from Roy Acuff and Hank Snow and Audrey Williams and other people. These blue notebooks contain all the words to the songs that I used to sing, and some songs in Spanish that I had. Books and books and records, memorabilia, and my 2 guitar cases. More plants. I love plants. And then this desk with its plants, all my sports trophies, and even my daughter Jackie's trophies are here. One trophy is here from when I was a coach. So this is my little message, and I'll put it on one of the computers and then send it to y'all by email, and hope you enjoy it and share a little bit of my life. My printer is under there. There is so much dust here in this time of year that even that thick towel doesn't keep the dust from going through to the printer. These are the 2 sets of pills that I got yesterday. And Lubriderm for my skin, which is turning to crud. The phone we rarely use, but I have to have it so that in case the government wants me, they can find me. Well, they never seem to want me. And photographs. Well, I hope your day is enjoyable and that you enjoy hearing my crackly voice. Once more, when I was at the clinic, I happened to mention to the guy who was the watchman that I once was a singer. And he said, "Oh, I didn't know that." I said, "Oh yeah, you can, he knows my name, Roger William Brown." And I told him, I said, "You can go on YouTube and you can find some songs if you want to hear what I sounded like." And there in the clinic, because I do jackass things, I went, "Hoodly, hoodly." And then he laughed and everybody looked. But that's me. Some of me hasn't changed. I love people. I love to be around people. If I can make people laugh, I'm happy. And that's something that I remember doing fairly well when I was an entertainer. And there's Boofy. And there goes Boofy. The dogs give me a lot of pleasure. They're here all day long, and the kids are in school now. For the first time in their lives, they're going to school for all day, 4.5 days a week. They get Friday just a half a day. And, you know, I have to give Adriana lunch money. It costs $1.50 for the lunch. I don't know, it seemed like when I was in high school, it might have been a quarter or something to get a good lunch. But the times, they are a-changin'. Okay. It's now 5 minutes to 5, and a little later on I'll get to watch, what? Oh, that's right, there's nothing on except it's All-Star Weekend, and that's not going to be enjoyable, I know. Nothing serious, no, not serious basketball. So, again, I wish you all the blessing of health and the ability to keep active and doing the things that you want to do. Love you all. Miss everybody that is near and dear to my heart. Ta-ta.